What I am about to reveal was once carved into temple walls and then deliberately erased. The Ankh Breathing Technique was not a meditation. It was not relaxation. It was a biological weapon of longevity, reserved for the inner circle of the pharaohs, and it was considered dangerous. Dangerous because it altered the body at the cellular level. Dangerous because it gave one man the vitality of three. Dangerous because once you understand how to command your breath, you no longer age the same way. I do not say this lightly. I say it as someone who has studied suppressed ritual practices and cross-referenced them with modern laboratory neuroscience. I stand at the intersection between what ancient priests encoded in symbol and what cutting-edge biology now measures in nanometers and neural pulses. And when I tell you that the Ankh was more than a symbol of life, I mean it literally. It was a protocol, a precise breathing pattern designed to signal regeneration deep inside your cells. Look at your life right now. Your energy fluctuates, your focus fractures, your sleep is shallow, your nervous system is constantly on edge. You wake up tired. You push through the day on stimulation. You call it normal. It is not normal. It is biological decay, accelerating under chronic stress. Your mitochondria are underperforming. Your vagus nerve is understimulated. Your cells are aging faster than they were designed to, and you feel it. The elite of ancient Kemet understood something that modern society conveniently ignores. Breath is not passive. Breath is command. Every inhale sends electrical and chemical instructions through your nervous system. Every exhale recalibrates hormonal output. The pharaoh's inner circle guarded a breathing sequence shaped after the Ankh, the loop, and the cross, because it created a specific rhythm inside the chest cavity, stimulating what they called the seat of rebirth. This knowledge was buried not because it was mystical nonsense, but because it worked. And anything that works at the level of cellular longevity becomes power. The question is simple. Are you ready to reclaim it? You have been told that aging is inevitable, that exhaustion is part of adulthood, that mental fog is normal after 30, 40, 50. That is the narrative. But I am telling you something far more unsettling. Much of what you experience is not inevitable decline. It is nervous system dysregulation. It is mitochondrial suffocation. It is a body trapped in survival mode for so long that it has forgotten how to repair itself, and that is dangerous. Right now, your biology is running a stress script. Cortisol pulses too often. Your sympathetic nervous system stays activated long after the threat is gone. Your heart rate variability is low. Your sleep cycles are fragmented. Deep inside, your cells are choosing short-term survival over long-term regeneration. Autophagy slows. Telomeres shorten faster. Inflammation simmers quietly like a hidden fire. You may not see it, but you feel it in subtle ways. Slower recovery, duller cognition, thinner patience, heavier mornings. Modern life has trained you to override fatigue instead of decoding it. You drink stimulation. You scroll. You distract. But the cost accumulates. Your vagus nerve, the master regulator of calm, digestion, hormonal balance, becomes undertoned, like a muscle never trained. When that nerve weakens, your entire internal orchestra loses rhythm. Your breath becomes shallow. Your diaphragm tightens. Oxygen delivery shifts. Carbon dioxide balance destabilizes, and cellular efficiency drops. This is the stake. Not just feeling tired, not just aging, but accelerating the very processes that break you down at the microscopic level. The ancient Egyptian elite understood this long before stress hormones were measured in laboratories. They recognized that breath controlled the gateway between chaos and order inside the body. They treated it as sacred technology. The Ankh Breathing Technique was not about relaxation. It was about restoring command. It was about shifting the body from defensive chemistry to regenerative chemistry on demand. Imagine that. Imagine being able to flip the switch from decay to repair with something you already possess. You are not powerless. You have simply been disconnected from the mechanism. And in the next part, I will show you exactly what that mechanism is. Now we enter the mechanism. Not myth, not symbolism. Neurobiology. Because if this ancient ritual survived in fragments, it is because it triggered something measurable inside the human nervous system. And today, laboratories can see what temple initiates once felt. At the center of this is the vagus nerve, the longest cranial nerve in your body, a wandering command line connecting brainstem to heart, lungs, gut, even immune tissue. When it is weak, you live in fight or flight. When it is strong, you enter repair mode. The Pharaoh's breath sequence was designed to mechanically stimulate this nerve through slow diaphragmatic expansion, controlled retention, and vibratory exhalation. That vibration, subtle but deliberate, creates resonance along the throat and chest cavity, directly influencing vagal tone. Modern measurements show that such stimulation increases heart rate variability, the gold standard marker of nervous system resilience. In ancient language, they called this opening the gateway of life. But that is only the first layer. Slow, rhythmic breathing at specific intervals shifts your brain into theta wave dominance. Theta is not ordinary relaxation. It is the frequency band associated with neuroplasticity, cellular repair signaling, and deep integration. In this state, the brain reduces excessive beta stress activity and reallocates metabolic resources toward restoration. Think of it as dimming the emergency lights so the repair crew can enter the building. Then comes nitric oxide release. When you breathe slowly through the nose and hold with slight pressure, the sinuses release nitric oxide into the bloodstream. This molecule is not trivial. It dilates blood vessels, improves oxygen delivery, enhances mitochondrial efficiency, and reduces inflammation. The ancient priests described this as expanding the river of life. Today, we call it vascular optimization. Do you see the pattern? Vagus activation, theta brain waves, nitric oxide circulation. These are not mystical abstractions. They are measurable biological shifts. The Ankh shape, loop and cross, symbolized circulation above and grounding below. In practice, it encoded a breathing geometry that synchronized brain, heart, and cellular metabolism. This is where ancient ritual and modern neuroscience shake hands. And when they do, the concept of aging as passive decline begins to collapse. Now we descend deeper, beyond the nervous system, into the cellular core where aging truly unfolds. Because stimulation of the vagus nerve and induction of theta waves are only the surface signals. The true power of the Ankh breathing technique lies in what those signals trigger inside your cells. And this is where modern biology becomes almost uncomfortable in its confirmation of ancient design. When breath slows and carbon dioxide tolerance increases through controlled retention, your body activates pathways associated with autophagy. Autophagy is not a trend word. It is the internal recycling system of your cells, the mechanism that identifies damaged proteins, dysfunctional mitochondria, and cellular debris, then dismantles and repurposes them. Without it, degeneration accelerates. With it, cellular efficiency improves. The Pharaoh's priests describe this process metaphorically as burning away the dust of time. In laboratory language, it is metabolic cleansing initiated by stress modulation and oxygen optimization. Then we consider telomeres, the protective caps at the ends of your chromosomes. Chronic stress shortens them. Chronic inflammation erodes them. But parasympathetic dominance, improved oxygenation, and reduced cortisol output are associated with slower telomere attrition. Breath is not stretching DNA directly. It is altering the hormonal and oxidative environment in which DNA exists. Change the environment, and you influence the rate of decay. Mitochondria, your cellular power plants, respond immediately to improved nitric oxide circulation and stable oxygen delivery. They produce ATP more efficiently. Energy output stabilizes. Fatigue lessens. This is not motivational hype. It is bioenergetics. When oxygen and carbon dioxide balance properly, mitochondrial respiration becomes smoother, less chaotic. And then there is the endocrine axis. The subtle pressure changes created by diaphragmatic expansion stimulate the thymus area at the sternum and influence blood flow toward the pineal gland. The thymus governs immune education. The pineal influences circadian rhythm and melatonin secretion. When these are synchronized, recovery deepens. Sleep repairs more effectively. Hormonal rhythms recalibrate. This is why the Ankh was called the key of life. It was not superstition. It was a compressed biological code. Breath becomes the command signal. Cells respond. Aging shifts. Now you will learn the protocol. Not theory, not symbolism, the exact sequence. And precision matters because small errors dilute the signal. The ancient initiates treated this like sacred engineering. So will you. Sit upright, spine elongated but not rigid. Chin slightly tucked to lengthen the back of the neck. Your tongue rests gently against the roof of your mouth, just behind the front teeth. This closes the oral circuit and encourages nasal dominance. Hands rest lightly over the center of your sternum, one over the other, applying subtle pressure to the thymus region. Shoulders relaxed, jaw unclenched. Inhale slowly through your nose for a count of 4. Expanding not your chest first, but your lower abdomen. Feel the diaphragm descend. Then allow the expansion to rise into the ribcage. Visualize the vertical line of the Ankh forming from pelvis to crown. At the top of the inhale, hold for a count of 7. During this retention, apply gentle internal focus to the point beneath your hands at the sternum. Imagine warmth building there. This is not fantasy. This pressure shift stimulates vagal pathways. Now exhale for a count of 8 with a low, controlled hum in the back of your throat. The vibration should be subtle but steady, not loud, not forced. That hum creates resonance along the vagus nerve and increases nitric oxide circulation. As you exhale, visualize the horizontal bar of the Ankh extending across your chest, stabilizing the body. Complete 10 cycles. No more in the beginning. Perform this once in the morning, before exposure to screens, and once at night in dim light. If dizziness occurs, you are forcing the inhale or rushing the hold. Slow down. Precision over intensity. Never practice immediately after a heavy meal. Never strain the breath. The power lies in control, not aggression. After 7 days, increase to 15 cycles per session. Maintain nasal breathing only. Consistency is the amplifier. This is not random deep breathing. This is structured neurological signaling. Follow it exactly. Now you want proof. Not philosophy. Not symbolism. Results. So let me give you the timeline, the biological arc of transformation. When this protocol is executed with precision and discipline, within the first 24 hours, you may notice subtle but undeniable shifts. Your breath deepens naturally. Your heart rate slows slightly at rest. That night, sleep feels heavier, more anchored. This is vagal activation stabilizing your autonomic rhythm. Nitric oxide circulation improves vascular tone. The body begins reallocating energy from vigilance to repair. It is quiet, but it is real. By day 7, measurable differences often emerge. Morning alertness improves. Emotional reactivity decreases. Heart rate variability begins trending upward. You recover faster from stress. This is not placebo. This is parasympathetic dominance, strengthening like a trained muscle. Mitochondrial efficiency improves under consistent oxygen balance. Inflammatory signaling softens. You feel clearer because your nervous system is no longer screaming in the background. At 30 days, deeper recalibration occurs. Sleep cycles become more consistent. Cravings driven by cortisol spikes reduce. Skin tone may subtly improve as circulation stabilizes. Cognitive endurance extends. You can focus longer without agitation. This is endocrine alignment. The pineal rhythm steadies. The thymus receives consistent mechanical stimulation. Cellular cleanup processes operate more efficiently. You are not younger in appearance overnight. You are younger in biological behavior. At 90 days, the trajectory becomes undeniable. Resting heart rate lower. Stress recovery faster. Energy sustained without artificial stimulation. Aging has not stopped, but its velocity has shifted. That is the secret. Longevity is not immortality. It is rate control. Now here is the challenge. Do not treat this as entertainment. Do not test it casually for 3 days and quit. Commit for 90. Twice daily. Precise counts. No shortcuts. You are reclaiming command over the only system you truly own. The ancient priests guarded this because discipline was rare. Power always hides behind discipline. So decide. Continue decaying unconsciously, or breathe with intention and alter your trajectory.